Grace stood on the edge of the bridge, her fingers trembling as she held the cold metal rail. The night air was sharp, and the wind tugged at her coat like it was trying to pull her back. But she didn't move. Her eyes were swollen from crying, and her heart felt heavier than her body. "I can't do this anymore," she whispered. Below her, the water moved slowly, dark and silent. Cars passed behind her, their headlights flashing briefly, then disappearing. No one noticed her. No one stopped. Grace took a small step forward, and then she heard it, a soft voice, a child's voice. "Even if I forget you, please don't forget me." Grace froze, her breath caught in her throat. She looked around quickly. The bridge was empty. No child, no footsteps, just the wind. But she heard it again. "Even if I forget you, please don't forget me." Her knees weakened. That was her prayer. She had said those exact words years ago. Grace hadn't always felt this broken. She used to be the girl who smiled at strangers, the one who held doors open, the one who believed things would work out. Even when life was hard, she kept going. But slowly, life began to pile things on her shoulders. Grace used to love mornings. She worked as a graphic designer at a small marketing agency. Logos, social media posts, branding projects. Nothing glamorous, but it was hers. Until one Tuesday morning. She opened her email while drinking her coffee, expecting the usual messages. Instead, she saw one titled, "Company Restructuring." Her hands shook as she read. Her position had been eliminated, effective immediately. Grace stared at the screen for a long time. Her coffee grew cold. She didn't cry right away. She just sat there, quiet, trying to understand how everything could change in a single sentence. She told herself, "It's okay, I'll find another job." But weeks passed, then months, applications, interviews, rejections. "We've decided to move forward with another candidate." Over and over. Her savings slowly disappeared. She started counting every dollar. She stopped buying little things she used to enjoy. No more coffee from the cafe, no more movie nights, no more takeout. One evening, she opened her refrigerator. It was almost empty. Half a bottle of milk, a few eggs, a lonely apple. She closed the door gently, like she didn't want to hurt it. "I'll be okay," she whispered. But she didn't believe it. Around the same time, her mother got sick. The call came late at night. "Grace, honey, I'm at the hospital." Her heart dropped. She rushed there, her mind racing. Machines beeped softly in the room. Her mother looked smaller in the hospital bed, her skin pale, her smile weak. "It's nothing serious," her mother said, trying to sound strong. "Just tests." Her mother had stage 2 lymphoma. Machines beeped softly as doctors spoke in careful voices. "We'll fight this," her mother said, forcing a smile. But the medical bills came faster than hope. Grace sat in the waiting room, holding her phone, staring at numbers she couldn't afford. She prayed, "God, please help. I don't know what to do." Days passed. No miracle. No sudden solution. Just more worry. Then came Daniel, her boyfriend. They met at their favorite taco restaurant, the one with neon lights and chipped blue tables. One rainy night, they ran through puddles laughing, completely soaked. "You're my favorite person to be miserable with," he once told her. She thought that meant forever. But one evening, he wouldn't meet her eyes. "I think I need space." Because life had become too heavy, and she was part of the weight. When he left, the restaurant felt painfully bright and unbearably empty. And just like that, another piece of her world disappeared. Grace still smiled when she saw people. "How are you?" they asked. "I'm good," she answered. But every night she cried into her pillow so no one would hear. She prayed less. At first she still whispered, "God, please." Then it became, "God, are you there?" Then, silence. Her room felt darker, her thoughts louder. She started feeling forgotten. One afternoon, she found an eviction notice on her door. Her rent was overdue. She sank to the floor, holding the paper in her hands. Her chest tightened. She couldn't breathe properly. "God, I've been trying," she said, tears falling. "I've been praying, but nothing is changing." The room stayed quiet. Days passed. She stopped praying completely. She stopped opening her Bible. She stopped believing things would get better. Her heart slowly filled with one heavy thought. Maybe God forgot me. But there was a time when she believed deeply. She was 8 years old. She knelt beside her grandmother on a soft carpet in a small living room. Sunlight poured through the window. The smell of fresh cookies filled the air. "Go ahead, Grace," her grandmother said gently. "You can pray." Little Grace closed her eyes tightly. "Lord, even if I forget you, please don't forget me." Her voice trembled. Her grandmother smiled warmly and wiped a tear from Grace's cheek. "God keeps prayers like that," she said. "He writes them down. He never throws them away." Grace hugged her tightly. Back then, she believed it. Back then, everything felt safe. Now, standing on the bridge, that memory came rushing back like a wave. "Even if I forget you, please don't forget me." Her younger voice echoed in her mind. Grace's hands shook. Tears blurred her vision. She whispered, "I did forget. I stopped talking to you. I stopped trusting." Her knees gave way, and she slowly sank to the ground. "Lord," she cried, "I forgot you, but you didn't forget me, did you?" The wind softened. Her phone buzzed. She almost ignored it. Then it buzzed again. She wiped her eyes and looked at the screen. It was the hospital. Her heart raced. She answered. "Hello?"
Grace, this is the nurse. I just wanted to let you know. Your mother is responding well to treatment. She's improving. Grace closed her eyes. A small breath escaped her lips. "Thank you," she whispered. Another notification appeared. An email. She opened it. Interview rescheduled. The company she had applied to weeks ago wanted to see her. They had an opening again. Grace stared at the screen. Not everything was fixed. She still had problems. But something inside her shifted. Hope. Small, gentle, but real. She slowly stood up. The bridge looked different now, not like an ending, but like a place she was leaving behind. She took a step back, then another. She walked away. The sky began to lighten as morning approached. The sun slowly rose, painting the clouds with soft colors. Grace walked quietly, her heart still heavy, but no longer empty. She whispered, "Thank you." She didn't have all the answers. She didn't know how everything would work out. But she knew one thing. She wasn't forgotten. Days later, she visited her mother, who smiled weakly but warmly. "I knew you'd be okay," her mother said. Grace held her hand. "I almost wasn't," Grace admitted. Her mother squeezed her fingers gently. "But you are." Grace nodded. That night she sat in her small room. It still looked the same. Worries, but she knelt beside her bed. For the first time in a long time she prayed. "Lord, I'm still scared, but I'm here." Tears fell again, but they felt different. They felt lighter. Sometimes life doesn't change in one moment. Sometimes miracles come quietly. But Grace learned something she would never forget again. Even when you stop praying, God still listens. Even when you feel alone, God is still near. Even when you forget, He remembers. And sometimes, the prayer you whispered as a child becomes the voice that saves you when you need it most.